Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester United's probably most difficult game of the entire season, and welcome to the Champions League, the best and the most elite league to participate in Europe and in the world, and we are one of the teams that are in there, and we should enjoy it while it's here. And we've got a lot to discuss. Ollie has said a lot of things in his press conference that could be damaging towards Manchester United, and one extremely good thing that will be happening in this Champions League game. So without further ado, I want to take you to my match prediction, and I want to talk about our opponents, PSG. Without further ado, let's get to it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Manchester United versus PSG Champions League match predictions, where we go through all of the starting 11 predictions that I think that will occur for Manchester United, give my honest and true opinions, and my score prediction at the end of the video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about our matchup against PSG? Do you think we have a chance? Do you think we'll get dominated? And also, how do you feel about Manchester United being in the Champions League? At the end of the day, we all say the top four is the way to go for Manchester United. We should be finishing here so we could get games like this in the Champions League, so we could verse the best teams in the world. And PSG is definitely one of those teams. PSG was a team that was in the Champions League final, and they more than comfortably could have won that game, but Bayern were just on another level that night. But PSG were well and truly in that game and had the opportunities, and could be in a whole different world scenario, could have been the Champions League finalists and the Champions League holders when we go to face them. So the reality is, this is not going to be an easy game. Both PSG and Manchester United do have injuries and concerns over games, and it's going to be a big step for Manchester United if we are to take something out of PSG. I think that will be the most well-accomplished achievement we could probably have this season, beating PSG. So this is definitely the hardest game in the group stages for us. This is definitely going to be the hardest game in the Champions League for us, most likely, depending on how long we stay in the Champions League, or if we do remain in the Champions League. So the question is, are we going to be up for this game? We have injuries. We don't know who's going to start. We don't know if our team is fit enough to go and get this win. But will we be able to pull something away from PSG today? And it's going to be very interesting to see what Manchester United will come up with, what formation we're going to play, if we go all out attack, or if we go park the bus defense and counter attack, because I think that's a very good option for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in today's game. I think with PSG, the performance, especially in the Champions League, I mean, you want to see good football. Of course, this is the elite of the elite. You want to see PSG come out here and play well. You want to see Man United come out here and play well. But ultimately, you want to see a victory. And maybe parking the bus in this game is not terrible, but I don't want to see it personally, because I want to see our team step up and play the way that we should be playing. But at the end of the day, a win is a win, and we need to win this game, because the Champions League is something I want to stay into. I don't want to get dropped or demoted to the Europa League by finishing third in the group stages. I want to advance into the Champions League. I want to get to the final 16, then the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. I want to get to these later stages and show what kind of team we can be in the future, and just not a laughingstock at the moment. So let's just see where we go with this game. We can only focus on the game that's presented in front of us, and that is PSG. That is with a very injured PSG and a very injured Manchester United. So let's go to the starting 11. In goal, I've gone with David De Gea. Absolutely sensational performance against Newcastle, and in my opinion was probably the man of the match. Deserves every single ounce of respect that he got from that game. I still do not believe that some people are making it out that it's his fault for the first goal. It's just not. You clearly have not played goalkeeper before if you think that David De Gea is at fault for the first goal. I think at the end of the day, he had an absolutely stellar performance, and he has had stellar performances throughout the whole season. Has definitely been one of our best players, definitely been one of the more consistent players in our team. And I think he might be starting to find his form again, but we'll have to wait and see on that. It's going to take a lot for us to say that David De Gea is going to be the #1 goalkeeper in the world again, but for sure, he's definitely up there, and maybe, just maybe, he can bring that form back, and he can be a truly outstanding goalkeeper for us once again, and keep Dean Henderson out of the squad, who is still knocking on the door. For the right back position, I've gone with Wan Bissaka. Listen, this is pretty straightforward. I don't really know if Wan Bissaka would get benched in this game. I mean, he had an absolutely world game against Newcastle. He stopped St. Maximum, who is arguably their best player, and he even went on to score a goal, and he did a lot of good attacking displays. Despite the crosses not being the best quality, the effort and the actual attempt to cross the ball in is something that's very, very good with Wan Bissaka, and something that we need more. We need to see Wan Bissaka keep delivering the crosses in. At the end of the day, you don't get better at crossing if you don't cross in game. You need to cross the ball in the game, and he did a lot of that against Newcastle, and we need to see more of that because eventually it will turn into goals. I mean, surprisingly enough, he had more assists than Luke Shaw last season, I believe. So it's not that he doesn't have what it takes, but maybe he just needs to practice it to get better at it, and then we'll have to wait and see at the end of the season what he can announce. And of course, he's going to have to stop Neymar and Mbappe today. I think we have a lot of responsibility on Wan Bissaka's shoulders to stop them, because our centre-back pairing, we just don't know what centre-back pairing we're even going to see, but let alone if they're going to show up to the game. So Wan Bissaka, in my opinion, is probably the most important player to stop the defence, the attack of PSG, of Mbappe, and of Neymar. And if he can do that successfully, I think he's making his claim as the best defensive right-back already in the world. But it's going to be a big exclamation mark on that if he's able to do it against the world's greatest players. And that is definitely Neymar and Mbappe. Going into the centre-back pairing, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said Harry Maguire is actually out with I think he had a tear in his hamstring, which is not... It's not a massive injury, but it is something that's concerning. He won't be playing against PSG, and there's a good chance he's not playing against Chelsea. That's 2 big games, 2 big blows. I think we need Harry Maguire for Chelsea for sure, because I think with PSG, it's not going to be a full-out, fast-paced game. I do think we can manage without Harry Maguire against PSG, because it's just a different style of game. I don't think we can handle without Harry Maguire against Chelsea, because they're just a potent attack that just can't seem to stop scoring. And maybe maybe PSG will be the same, maybe not. But I think Harry Maguire being lost is a big blow. And if he was carrying a knock into Newcastle, I don't care how good his performance was. If he was injured, you just should have not played him. It's as simple as that. But we've got the hand now that we've been dealt. This has happened to so many players before, and it will continue to happen to so many players in advance. So we're going to need Victor Lindelof to play today and to step up, and we're going to have to trust in one of our other centre-back pairings next to him to perform. And I don't know who that's going to be. In my opinion, I'm just going to come out and say I think it has to be Luke Shaw or Scott McTominay or Axel Tuanzebe, because Scott McTominay played in the centre-back pairing for Scotland, and I think he did fairly well there, so maybe that's something Ole needs to think about. Tuanzebe has recently come back from injury after a year or 2 out, can still do a job, and I think if you put Tuanzebe in here and he does flourish, that position could well and truly be his, because I don't think there's anybody near enough to challenge it. Or we go for Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw has played that position before, the left-sided centre-back. In my opinion, if I was going to have to go with what Ole would go with, I would probably say he'd pick Axel Tuanzebe. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Axel Tuanzebe. I don't know if he's going to be ready or not for this game, but I do think he has come back. He has been training for quite a few weeks now. Maybe he is ready. But throwing him into PSG could be very difficult for him. But hopefully he'll be able to do well. If not, then it's probably going to be Luke Shaw. So I don't see Scott McTominay playing centre-back. We've seen that with Jose for Man United. Didn't turn out well. Scotland and Man United are 2 completely different teams. So I would like to see Tuanzebe or Luke Shaw play that centre-back position. And a left-back, I've gone with Alex Telles. I think we're going to have to play a back 4 because we just don't have enough to play a back 5. I'm going to say Alex Telles, very, very good left-back. Again, we're going to need something attacking-wise when it comes to our fullbacks tonight, because PSG will be a team that's going to attack us. We can hit these guys on the break. That is something that's not going to go out of the realm of possibility. We can hit PSG on the break, and we could do it well, and we've done it well before. So I do think that PSG will be vulnerable at the back. They don't have Thiago Silva anymore. They don't have their leader at the back. They still have a very good defense, but it's not as good as it can be. So I think Manchester United do have an opportunity there if it presents itself. And I think Alex Telles will do very well on the counter-attack. He does like to run. He does like to whip in a ball. And I do think he's a very good set-piece specialist if need be. He can take a corner. Luke Shaw was taking corners against Newcastle. Alex Telles could definitely take a corner. Alex Telles could score a penalty if need be. And Alex Telles could definitely have a free kick in him. So it's pretty straightforward for Alex Telles should be playing in this game. There's no been rumours that he's been injured. He's fit. I think he should play. There's no better time in the Champions League. Champions League is a completely different league to the Premier League. And I think he'll be much more well adapted to fighting in the Champions League style of football than the Premier League style of football. And maybe this game will introduce him into the Premier League a little bit more with how we play. Anyway, let's go to the CDM's position. I've gone with Fred at the CDM position. I think we may play Matic as well. There's something, I'm not sure if it's going to be Fred and Matic or one of the others, or one, either Fred or Matic or Fred with Matic is basically what I'm trying to say. But I think Fred should be the answer at the moment. I don't think Matic has taken the world on fire with his performances as of late. I think he's been a little bit slow. I think he's been caught out a few times, but ultimately he's not been bad. Scott McTominay playing in the CDM position, I just haven't seen enough of Scott McTominay to say that he should be starting. I still see that he could be a CDM in the future, but he's just not the CDM now, and he shouldn't be starting for Manchester United. Didn't have a great game against Newcastle. Hasn't had a great game for Man United in quite some time. So maybe I think the answer is that we just don't see Scott McTominay start. Maybe he comes off the bench and brings us some energy and some fight, because I do think that's what he's good for at the moment. He's good for fight. He has the heart. He loves this club, and I think he will do whatever it takes to make sure he succeeds here. But maybe that's not from the starting position. I'm going to pick Paul Pogba in the other centre mid position. He got dropped against Newcastle. Do you really think he's going to get dropped against PSG as well? I really don't believe so. He did play against Newcastle off the bench, but he didn't start. I think we did that solely so he could start in this game in the Champions League. And this is Pogba's big chance to show what kind of player he is. At the end of the day, the Premier League is one thing. If you can do it in the Champions League, if you can have a world-class performance on the grandest stage against the toughest team, it's easily going to be saying that Paul Pogba is a world-class player if he performs. One good performance could change the whole mood with Paul Pogba and the whole way that we observe him. So hopefully he could do that against PSG. I am 100% sure this guy's going to start. I don't see why he wouldn't. But again, I would love Van De Beek to start. And I'm going to talk about Van De Beek a little bit later because in my opinion, he will start. But it's I think Paul Pogba will need to start in that CDM, in that centre mid position, CDM position, and help along with the attack as well as the defence. He needs to be responsible as well. We do need to consider that. Responsibility is essential against PSG. I think we're going to have to step up against the biggest team, one of the biggest teams in the world. The cam position, I've gone with Bruno Fernandes, and big news, ladies and gentlemen, Bruno Fernandes is going to be the captain of this game, Manchester United versus PSG. He said it was an absolute honour, and it's a privilege, and he talked about leading every day on and off the court, off the pitch, and it looks like he's going to be the captain for the Champions League game as Harry Maguire's not there. Look, there's a bunch of worthy candidates to hold the captain's armband, from Paul Pogba, from David De Gea. Maybe you put it on Lindelof, who's been here for quite some time, even Rashford. There are a bunch of people you could put the armband on, but I think Bruno Fernandes is something we've all been calling out for, to be the captain of Manchester United. And it only may be temporary for the moment, but a captain is a captain, a leader is a leader, and Bruno Fernandes will be walking out with the captain's armband, and it's going to be the biggest game of his life in this game against PSG. And let's see if he can step up to the plate, because he has done very, very well this season. I think very underrated, to be honest. You see the turnovers and you say that Bruno Fernandes hasn't stepped up to the plate or he hasn't played well. But if you're looking at the stats that this guy provides, my Lord, has he been one of the best players in the Premier League so far. So I'm very, very happy for Bruno Fernandes, and hopefully he can do something once again in the Champions League, and especially against PSG. We're going to need that type of player. Going into the winger's position with the right wing. Now, Mason Greenwood is another person that is supposedly injured. There has been rumors about Mason Greenwood in having disciplinary issues once again. I'm not going to go into any of that until I know it's true or false. And if it's never going to be publicly stated that it's true or false, then I'm not going to publicly talk about it, because I don't know, and I'm not going to bring out an accusation out of nowhere just for the sake of doing it. So for the most part, what's come out is that he has a knock, and that's what I'm going to go with. He has a knock, and that's it. And we'll move on from that. Mason Greenwood will not play. Jesse Lingard will not play. I also should have mentioned back in the centre-back pairing position, Eric Bailly is injured as well. So if I had to pick the right wing position, it's between Mata, Donny Van De Beek, or Daniel James. And it's going to be Mata or Donny Van De Beek. I think most people will come to realize that. But I really want to say Donny Van De Beek, and I'm going to just because when is this guy going to be given enough chances, man? He needs a full 90 minutes. He needs a full 90 minutes as a Manchester United player. I don't want to see him as just a bench option. I mean, we spent 40 million on this guy. He scored our first goal in our season. Come on, man. I know that you probably cannot play Pogba, Bruno, and Van De Beek, but Van De Beek would be considered a winger in this type of situation. And I think he can play it, man. If we can play Mata there, we can play Van De Beek there. He's a very smart player, and I do think he would make a difference in this PSG game. I think if we're going to go and play Daniel James or something, and no disrespect to Daniel James intended here, but I don't think he would make the difference in this game. Maybe he will. He can definitely prove me wrong, but for the most part, I don't believe that. So I think Van De Beek needs to play. If it's Mata, fine, but Van De Beek needs to play. I'm getting sick and tired of not seeing him start, to be honest. It's been so long that we haven't seen him play. I think nearly every single game, even in the Carabao Cup, I can't remember him. He did start in the Carabao Cup, but with a Garlo and Lingard, and it's just not a quality team that he played with. So I want to see him play with the best players that we have. And so far, this starting lineup is probably the best team that we have at the moment. Left wing, I've gone with Marcus Rashford. A very good number 9 performance away from home against Newcastle. Got 2 assists and a goal, and rightfully deserved, in my opinion, was probably the man of the match besides Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire was my man of the match, but I think a lot of people would say Marcus Rashford was the man of the match. And the stats don't lie. He definitely had a very good game against Newcastle, and he's done it before against PSG as well. So it's a big game. We need our big players to step up. Marcus Rashford is definitely a big player, and he can hopefully do the difference as well. We're going to need something out of our players. Marcus Rashford, let's get this going, man. Let's see what Marcus Rashford could do against the biggest team in the world for most people, and that is PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. So let's see what he can do. And up front, Cavani is not match fit, but even if he was, I will still pick Anthony Martial simply because of rotation. We need to rotate our strikers now because Martial will not be available for Premier League games against Chelsea and Arsenal. So Manchester United need to make sure Martial is in the team somewhere, and the Champions League at the moment has to be the place where Martial starts so he can continue his form, and hopefully he can develop more fitness and score some goals and gain some confidence. If you bench Martial for the Champions League and you bench Martial for the Premier League because he can't play in the Premier League, you're basically just asking for him not to have a good start or even continue his good run of the season. And a lot of people are already saying he's had a bad run because it's like 8 games he hasn't scored a goal. But if you don't even play him, then you're just basically asking for him to be bad this season. I think you need to play him, and I think we will play him because, of course, we don't really have that much options unless you want a Garlo to play. I don't think many people want that, if any people want that at the moment. So you must pick Martial in this game. It's fairly straightforward. If Cavani's not fit, he's not going to play. And that is the team for Manchester United. I have to be real. I do not think we're going to win this game. I'm not going to come out here just because I'm a Man United fan and say that we're going to beat PSG. Of course, the fan inside me wants to beat PSG. There is an element of me that thinks we can beat PSG, but I think the majority of my heart and my brain are telling me that Manchester United will not beat PSG. If I had to pick a scoreline, I would pick 3-1 to PSG. I don't see them keeping a clean sheet because their defense is not at their peak at the moment. They do have injuries themselves. Verratti could be a doubtful one. Di Maria could be doubtful. Icardi's not playing. Draxler might not be playing. So it's simple that they have injuries as well. So it's not impossible. And maybe Herrera will do us a favor as well and just give us a penalty to win the game. Maybe. But yeah, I'm definitely going to say a 3-1 loss to PSG. Hopefully we can get something out of this game. But again, optimism is the only thing that will give me anything to go based off for this game. It's the Champions League. Whether we win or lose, I'm going to enjoy this game while it's on for what it is, because there might not be that many games of the Champions League to watch for Manchester United. So you have to enjoy these nights while they're here, and they are here, and it is here, and I'm going to enjoy it because this is what we ask for as Man United fans, to verse the best teams in the world, and we are versing one tomorrow or tonight for some people, and I want us to win, and I want to celebrate Manchester United being in the Champions League. We fought so hard for this, so let's enjoy it when it's here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Congratulations to Bruno Fernandes for the captaincy of Manchester United, and maybe this could spark a performance that could keep him the captain for quite some time, or maybe it is just a temporary thing. Who really knows? Again, I will see you guys in the match reaction for Manchester United versus PSG. Hopefully it's one with a victory in our hands. Take care and peace.